Hello, Top Fan Rivalry family. It is Thursday. That's right, Thursday. We had an interesting week this week because on Tuesday we launched our first NHL podcast edition, and I was an idiot. I said on Tuesday, I said, "Welcome to Friday." I don't know where my brain was, but whatever. Anyways, our editions are raw. They're uncut, which is awesome. And we got Scotty back because we need to give you a little Dodgers update. Scotty, Thursday, Friday Eve, quote unquote. How the heck are you?
I'm doing really good. Just checking messages. My nephew's playing in a subbing in a baseball game, so I was just looking at my message real quick. But I'm great. I swear it feels like it's been like 2 days since I talked to you. Like it
Yeah,
just I can't believe how quick we get through a couple weeks, and I feel
the
like
timing is
it's
nuts, isn't it?
yeah, it's weird. And then on top of that, I feel like every time we talk, the Dodgers are in the same boat.
Hmm.
You know,
Hmm.
too close to call in the division, still leading, but like I don't know, it's been a weird year. I just keep trying to fall back on what we talked about when the year started. That you know we're leading the division. We just got to get healthy and hot for the playoffs.
Yeah, and we'll come back to the playoffs in a second because I have to ask you something. I asked this to somebody on an episode a couple of days ago and how the playoffs line up right now, and it's kind of super cool, but it's kind of sad all at the same time. But we'll come back to that, amigo. First,
Okay.
let's talk about the Dodgers' upcoming schedule. So we just finished with the Colorado Rockies. By the way, congratulations, Rockies, first to 100. We want to thank you for getting there. That is amazing. That's a great feat.
Oh,
Shoot, I always look at the wrong column. Never mind. Never
yeah.
mind. Anyways, just finished up with the Rockies. We now have the Giants in San Fran for three. And then we get the Phillies at home, which is, by the way, the Phillies are doing a West Coast road trip at the end of the season, which I think is weird. Phillies at home, and then we get the Giants at home. Scott, talk to me about the next 10 games. It's high stress level.
Little bit. Like I said, a little too close to call. They are Dodgers, in the division, and we've talked about how important it is to win series, and Dodgers haven't been doing that lately. I mean, they went on a 5 game skid earlier. You know, just looked not really great against the Pirates. Not good against the Orioles, and at least came away with one win in Baltimore. But that was a just abysmal road trip to start the month. Um, for the Dodgers. And if you even go back a little further, you got the D-backs before that they didn't win the series. So need to get back to winning series. Need to get back to just and especially with 7 of those 10 against the Giants. I don't care where you play. I'm glad 4 of the 7 are at Dodger Stadium. They at least got a
Yes.
little bit of tilt that back towards the Dodgers that direction. And I don't mind playing at San Fran. That's a great ballpark, and Dodgers seem to do well and hit well there, especially Max Muncy. Just ask him about
Get it
that.
out of the lake.
Um, but it's critical. Like I think your first goal here is let's take 2 out of 3 in San Fran. Let's take
Hmm.
2 out of 3 from the Phils, and make sure you're heading into that 4 gamer with the Giants. And then I mean I gotta feel like the Dodgers have got to be feeling like, okay, 3 out of 4 on that homestand against the Giants. Like a split, I just think doesn't do them that much good. I mean,
Right.
luckily the Padres have been scuffling a little bit too, but you're less than a month from finishing the regular season here, and you've got 3 teams in the NL West that are single digits from first place. So um, that's a little scary too. At least we're done playing the Padres, so they can't get the 2 for. But anyway,
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And it's unique because even after the Phillies and the Giants series, we play Arizona in Arizona, who are just going to love to play spoiler. And then we
right.
end the season with Seattle, who, right now Seattle's in a dogfight for the AL West. And so
Well, yeah, and so they're going to be trying to finish strong, most likely, and might even in those last three games, might be having something to play for.
Yeah,
And,
100%.
I'm hoping by that time the Dodgers have things locked up, but, can't move one way or the other. But you just, with where things stand right now, you can't say that. So,
Yeah, you can't. And that's the hard part when you get to this part of the season. Everything is magnified,
yep.
right? Every
Yep.
mistake is magnified. Everything of everything is just crazy magnified, right?
Well, I know, like we talked about this early in the year too. Early year games count the same towards your record as late year games, but it's just not quite the same. The pressure's not the same. You don't, in April when you're a game back in the division, you're not scrambling. In September and your game back, you're like, okay, what's going on? We got to get this ship right. So it's obviously just all perspective, but yeah, I mean, 10 next 10 games, next 16 games. That's what we got left. We got to win. I mean, I feel like Dodgers probably got to win 2/3 of those.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the key is what we've talked about all year. Just go in with the mentality we got to win the series. Don't let
Yep.
one loss hurt you, but let's win the series. Because if you win every one of these series the Dodgers have left, they'll win the division. They won't get caught. They just won't.
Correct. Correct. And the Padres are still the Padres just finished up with the Reds. They do have the White Sox in there. They end their season with Arizona, who is going to want to play some type of spoiler too. But
For
they've
sure.
got the Mets and Milwaukee there. And
Yeah.
Milwaukee,
See?
Philadelphia has been playing so well. Milwaukee could get caught and not have the first be
I
the
know.
first seed. So you still have they have 6 games with two very good teams that are fighting. So
Yeah. No, I'm hoping, like I said, hoping that we can just win each one of these series going away. And if the Dodgers can do that, you're going to win the division. And if you're doing that, I know we're starting to hit our stride. Like,
mhm.
and that's this next stretch is critical for that in baseball. We've seen it with,
Yeah,
especially over the last 15 years with the different and maybe even a little longer, 20 plus, with all the different expansions that they've done every few years in the playoff situation in baseball. Um, it's obvious that the team that usually ends up winning the World Series is the team that hits the playoffs on, firing on all cylinders, winning
I
a
was
lot.
just gonna say firing on all those cylinders,
Yeah.
getting it going. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Okay, so the next side of the Dodger update that we need to talk about is we're finally getting everybody back. We
Yes.
got Mad Max back, we're getting Tommy Tanks back, we're getting Roki Sasaki back. So all of these guys that you've seen kind of spot fill in, not so much anymore. They're done, which is great, which is absolutely great.
Right. Well, and we just
So
hope, right, that everyone can stay healthy. Um,
yeah, yeah. But there's something I want to point out here in this show, and I need your take on it.
okay.
Okay. Everybody was worried this year about pitching, 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 pitching. The Dodgers have lost not one but two no-hitters in the ninth inning in the
Right.
last week.
Right.
Okay. That says pitching is fine. And Clayton Kershaw
Yeah.
has come back and he looks dominant. So, Scott, talk to me about I mean, the Dodgers are pitching very well. They're just not hitting right now. But talk to
Right.
me about just overall maybe the pitching. Let's start there.
Well, I think, look, you're getting more out of Kershaw than you thought, and that's great. And he seems to be getting stronger and better every game, which is even better as we head into the stretch run and towards the playoffs. And so, because that's a guy who he just kind of transcends the normal, roster spot, right?
Mhm.
There's he's a Hall of Famer if he retired today. Anyone would tell you that. And to have a guy like that on a team and to be able to learn from him, the other pitchers on the staff and learn from him both by talking with him, having him show you things, and just watching him. That's huge. And you and I talked about that at the beginning of the season, that if that was all the role that really Clayton ended up playing this year, that we'd be okay with that. So the fact that dude's 10-2 and firing on all cylinders for the most part. He had that one inning, what, 2 or 3 starts ago, um, that wasn't very good. But other than that, he locked it down, and I think he ended up at least getting a no decision in that game. And pretty sure the Dodgers won that game. But look, that's found money. You know what I mean? That's something that I don't think most people were counting on, was him being what he's been. And so now that we got Glasnow back, we got a couple of the guys like Bobby Miller's in the minors doing some work, and we'll probably end up seeing him before the month's over, and who knows what role he may play. But we're getting our, Blake Trinan's been back for a few weeks. It's just good to see these guys getting back. Now we got to get them rounded into form quickly, because I think the biggest worry most Dodgers fans have, I feel like we know they're going to start hitting. They will. The law of averages tells us they will. And maybe they're just waiting for the playoffs. Who knows? I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah,
But
so I pulled up Clayton's stats as you were talking about him and talking
yeah,
about found money. He's 10-2 with a 3.27 ERA, 99 innings, 69 strikeouts. I don't care about the strikeouts anymore. We
not
know
so
that he
much.
can
Yeah,
strike people out. He's
yeah,
getting outs, he's getting innings, he's eating up innings so that the younger guys, the bullpen doesn't have to
yeah,
do as much. And when you look at his last 7 games, I mean, he pitched 5 2/3, 5 2/3 in his last start. He pitched 5 innings in 5 innings. He's
yeah.
been in the sixth a number of different times. I mean, this is good stuff for him. This is good
It
stuff for
is,
his
and it's
offense.
you and I were talking about. I think if we checked the tape from earlier in the year, I think we were talking about hoping he could give 4 innings on
Yeah,
average.
yeah,
And he's averaging, I think, 5+ innings
he
in his
is.
starts through the season. I mean, think about that. That's amazing. The fact that he's thrown 99 innings,
Mhm.
100 innings. Again, I guarantee if you go back and listen to us talking, one of the two of us talked about how many innings we thought we'd get out of him for the year.
Yeah.
I mean, the other thing that's good is Shohei is slowly getting back in. I don't know if we'll end up seeing him start, but he's got in the playoffs this year. But he's got a good enough stuff. If he's a guy that could come in and get you 3 outs in a pinch.
See, and here's what's funny is Clayton Kershaw, who's 37 years old. Tyler Glass now is 2-3 with a 3.21 ERA. Clayton is .06 ahead of
Yeah,
him, but Tyler Glass now only has 75.2 innings,
yeah,
75 2/3 innings.
yeah,
So Clayton has thrown 24 more innings than him, which is freaking amazing,
yeah.
right?
Yeah,
So,
we're getting and like you said, if Tyler can hopefully stay healthy now that he's back in the on the big league squad, um, you
mhm,
know, he could get him rounded into form. I mean, look, hopefully it's a nice by the time we get to October and Dave Roberts is trying to figure out his rotation. Hopefully
mhm.
it's the side of, man, I've got 5 guys that I need to fit into a 3 or 4 man rotation. And that's a good problem to have, and that's something we talked about again early in the year, that we had such depth at pitching that and that's part of why Dodgers are where they're at in the division, is because with guys like Glasnow going down, with guys like Dustin May spending time on the injured list,
Mhm.
Shoei being slow coming back, all the other guys who have, that we could talk for 20 minutes on all the guys who spent time on the injured list for the Dodgers that we weren't planning on. But you got way more out of Kershaw. Yamamoto has been pretty stellar, and hasn't got the run support in a few of his starts that I mean, look at that. You have 11 wins and 8 losses, and your ERA is 2.7. That tells you we had several games we were losing 1-0, 2-1, 3-2, where we just weren't scoring runs. And so I don't think the starting pitching's a question. I mean, the one question I think people always worry about is the back end, who's going to close, and that's kind of been an adventure this whole season.
Yeah.
You know, there's and look, teams deal with that. Dodgers have dealt with that a lot of years. you're not rare is the occasion that you get a Mariano Rivera or a Trevor Hoffman that is just your guy for 20 years.
Yeah,
You just but I think that's where the biggest question mark probably falls is, what's happening at the back end of that bullpen, when we're needing those last, 6, 7, 8 outs in a game. Who are our guys, and are we going to have a set closer? I would wager we may not. It may be situational. May have three different guys that Dave could bring in at any point in those last 2, 3 innings.
yeah,
So hopefully,
200%.
and I think going into the playoffs, what you hope is from your starters is we can get 5 innings out of every starter. So
Yeah.
I think if you can at least get five out of them, every guy who starts, we will be fine with the bullpen as far as
So
not overtaxing them.
the so here's a funny thing to pay attention to. And you and I both would not have said this. Shohei Ohtani's got 152 hits. He leads the squad.
Yep.
Freddie Freeman's got 144.
Right.
Now Freddie Freeman has a higher batting average.
Yep.
Number three, number three is not Teo. It's not Mookie. It is Andy Pius,
Yeah.
139 hits. Then when you go to average, you got Freddie at 295. You got Shohei at 279. You got Andy Pius at 269. A rookie, a kid.
I know.
Like
Well, and
we
then
are,
your catcher's hitting 296 on top of that.
yeah. I mean, Andy Pius is 24 years old,
Love
you
Andy.
guys. He's got 24 home runs, 79 RBIs, and 13 stolen bases.
He
At
just
the
needs
end
to
of the season,
he just
go
needs
ahead,
to
I'm sorry.
work on he just needs to work on robbing home runs. Okay, that's
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Listen, at the end of the season, when the Dodgers give out their awards at their awards banquet, if Andy Pius isn't jumping up, accepting like 16 different awards from the Dodgers,
Yeah.
something's wrong.
For sure. For
Something's
sure.
wrong because
What is
it
he? I think
definitely ain't Michael
is he
Conforto.
second on I think he's second on the team in stolen bases.
Yeah, yeah, definitely ain't Michael Conforto hitting 194.
Yeah.
Um, Teo has had a down year, so Andy Pius is really kind of keeping it up, and we're liking that.
Yep. Yep. Well, and look, Max
So
Muncy, I know his average isn't up where we want it, but where he was at the end of May, if you said he'd get to 255 by September, I think most of us would have taken that.
yeah, two
You
thousand
know,
percent,
so he's been playing a lot better. So
two
maybe
thousand
maybe
percent.
the maybe the memories of get it out of the lake yourself will help him get back into form here as we round out the season.
Yeah. I'm very happy with the pitching, and I would say this even if it wasn't the Dodgers. I'm very happy with the pitching. You don't go 2 games where you almost have no hitters without having good pitching. Sure, you get a no hitter in you get a no hitter in the third inning. Okay, great, perfect, right? But we're talking into the ninth.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, for sure.
now, Scott, I may have asked you this before, but I'm gonna test your knowledge.
Okay.
I don't know if I've asked you this or not. Do you know who has broken up the most no hitters in Major League Baseball?
I know I should know this.
You wanna wager two or three guesses?
Yeah, Jim Edmonds,
Okay,
um, Kevin Youkilis,
you okay?
um, whoever got the hit that Andy Paez should have caught instead of letting it bounce off the wall. Not to
Yeah,
disparage Paez, I love him, but he should have caught that ball. But
yeah.
whoever I can't remember who hit that, but that's my third guess.
You want to know how easy this is?
Okay.
The guy that broke up the most no hitters in Major League Baseball, Ricky Henderson.
Oh, yeah, that makes total sense.
Listen, I
Yeah,
mean it's a no hitter
I don't
when
know
he
how I
comes up
didn't
in the
think
first
about
inning.
that almost is a trick question because it's too obvious.
I know when
That
somebody
would
asked
be
me that,
him.
I said Barry Bonds. I'm like thinking of people that
I was
would.
thinking of I thought it was going to be like a guy, random dude, and not that Jim Edmonds is that random, but like a
Right.
guy like him or Kevin Youkilis who played a long time in the league, got to come up to the plate a lot of times. I don't know. I don't know why. That's
I
just what
teased you there, didn't
I
I?
thought.
I got you.
Yeah,
I
you
got
did,
you.
but it's good. That's one of those. That's one of those good trivia questions. I love that one.
Yes, yes. In fact, AJ, who we want to give a lot of love to over at Bleacher Brothers, shared that with me one time. And I can't
Nice.
remember the number, but it's high. It's
Nice.
like 70 some odd no hitters that he broke up.
Wow.
But again, you're talking about a
I'd
leadoff.
like to know. I'd like to know how many of those were with infield hits as fast as Homeboy was,
Yes, yes.
and we can include drag bunts with that too.
Or breaking up a no hitter and a shutout. I'm sure
Yeah,
Ricky's still the same guy because,
yeah,
I
probably.
mean, he had what 60 some odd leadoff home runs or something. But
Yeah, yeah.
um, a guy that has played for
Love Ricky.
guy that's played for
Ricky
32
loves some Ricky too. So
of all 30 baseball teams, he's played for 32 of them. I mean, this guy
I
this
know.
guy's played everywhere. You know,
Seriously, he's got a jersey from every team with his name on it hanging in his trophy room.
yes,
That's so
R.I.P.
funny.
Ricky. But I got to tell you, man, and for those of you that are Dodger fans listening to this, you have to remember when we signed Ricky, that was the time when we were signing just like all these random
Yeah.
guys that were just at the
Who's
end
the
of their
owner? Who was the
careers.
owner?
Gary Carter, like
Who was
all
the
these
owner of the
random dudes.
Dodgers at that point? Who owned them? Do you remember?
Um,
I have to
it
look
was
that.
still the O'Malley family.
Was it still the O'Malley phase?
Yeah, it was
It was, but it was
before.
not. It was like the kids and the
Yeah,
grandkids
yeah,
of
yeah,
the
yeah.
O'Malleys. And
But
see, I maintain that at some point. I think Yankee fans might agree with me at this point too. Like at some point, the kids just need to move on.
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know.
2000%, 2000%. So, all right, Scott, we talked about pitching, we talked about scheduling, we talked about injury updates. I stumped you on a little quiz there. I can't wait
Love it.
until you ask your pop or somebody that question. That will be a fun one. But I think we've covered the Dodgers quite a bit. You and I need to come back in 2 weeks as the end of the season is coming up. Here's what I wanted to tell you about the playoffs.
Okay.
If the playoffs ended today, Major League Baseball would have a logistical nightmare. And I mean, if the playoffs started today, and here's
Right.
why: San Diego plays Chicago, plays the Cubs. Okay, the Dodgers play the Mets. Okay, the
Wow.
winner of
I
the
don't like
Dodgers
that.
Mets series, um, the winner of the Dodgers Mets series would play Philadelphia. The winner of the Cubs San Diego series would play obviously Milwaukee. In the American League, the Astros, the way that it sits right now, the two byes would be Detroit and Toronto. The Astros would play Seattle, a division rival, and the Yankees and the Red Sox would play in the wild card round.
Oh my gosh.
So logistical nightmare because you have the marquee rivalry in the Yankees Red Sox, and then you have the Dodgers Mets rivalry in the first round. This is not good.
Oh,
This is not good.
I'm actually. Can you hear me? My mic
Yes,
is.
sir.
Can you hear? You
Yeah,
can hear me. Okay.
yeah.
I am hoping for a Yankee Red Sox play-in game. That would be amazing.
See,
That it wouldn't quite be the same as the Pete Martin, David Ortiz, Manny Ramirez Red
of
Sox
course,
against the Jeter, Giambi. You
of
know,
course.
it wouldn't. That was. I mean, I know I wasn't alive before the '70s, and so I didn't see any of those old rivalries and stuff. But man, the that rivalry in that time frame, that might be
Mhm.
the best rivalry in the history of sports over whatever period of years that was. But I would love that.
1000%.
I do not want the Mets in the first round. Although you look at all the playoff teams in the on the NL side especially, and the Dodgers have history with all of them, recent history with all of them that are in it or in the hunt. And so we're just look, it's baseball. And the Dodgers are the defending champs, and now they're America's team. And and
Scotty's got it right, everybody.
everyone's going to be giving them their best shot. So, but man,
Yeah.
there's just something about the Mets I don't like this year. I don't like that would be. I would almost rather face a division foe to start than the Padres or the Giants, and rather than the Mets. I don't know. I don't know. I don't like that one.
Yeah.
Stay away
100%.
from that one. Let's get some things changing.
100%. 100%. So, that being said, I love the concept. And I love the wild card rounds, but man, Major League Baseball, can you imagine a National League Championship series that was Dodgers Mets or Dodgers Phillies, or
Right.
even Phillies, Mets,
Yeah.
um, and Yankees, Red Sox. Of course, that would be awesome. Um, I hate to say this, but if it's Milwaukee versus Seattle in the World Series, nobody outside of the state of Washington or Wisconsin are going to be watching that series.
Yeah. Yep.
So, but you got to give them love, right?
Yeah. Man, I don't know. I look at this and I mean, geez, all the way down. I mean, the Cardinals have an outside chance of getting in
Very,
to the wild
very
card.
outside.
Um, them and the D-backs, but it's only 4.5 games. That's at this point, it's at least very possible, not
Very
probable,
outside
obviously, but
chance.
very, very much. In the next couple days, that'll clear itself out a little bit, and we'll see where that lands. But man, I don't like any of these teams all the way down to that one, and I still can't believe how bad the Braves have been this year.
Yeah.
That blows my mind. But yeah, I mean, look, Phillies always play the Dodgers tough. I still have nightmares about the Flying Hawaiian. Um, the, the Brewers always seem to play the Brewers always seem to play the Dodgers tough, but the Dodgers end up coming out on top. I
Yes, that's
feel like
exactly
that
right.
with the Brewers. Padres, it depends on the year if you end up playing them. Mets, I just feel like the Mets we get their best shot every time. I don't in the playoffs. I don't know why. It's it just goes back a few years and having some
Yes.
struggles against guys. So,
Well, Scott, we'll be
geez,
on right before the playoffs start, and we'll have a much better
perfect.
picture. We're going to try to air.
Hopefully, the Dodgers' magic number is 1 or 0 by then when we do that.
Yes, yeah,
So,
we're going to try to record and air for you guys on the 22nd. That's the goal that Scott and I are shooting for. So
okay.
that will be the last full week of the season. So we'll have a
We
little
gonna
bit
be
of
doing this
preview.
during the playoffs a little bit too.
Of course,
Good,
Scott, of
good,
course.
good. Just making sure. I got to
So
gear up for it. I'm excited. That playoff baseball is pretty hard to beat.
and the other thing that everybody needs to know too, Scott is a huge NBA fan. Um, as you know, we launched the NHL, the NBA, and the WNBA on on here, and I'm super excited about that. And Scott's going to be our first person to talk the NBA, and that will air in the next week and a half or so. So we're excited for that. A lot of fun, a
And,
lot of
and
unique
I will be
times.
completely unbiased because I hate my current local team right now. So the
Ah,
Utah Jazz. So I hate the make. There's a couple guys on the team I like, but I am not happy with what they've done with that. So I'll have a lot to say about that.
oh, I'm sure we
Want to hear
will.
me rant about the Jazz?
We might even have to stream that live on YouTube
There you
and
go.
everything. So, okay, want to thank Bleacher Brothers for putting this on a Thursday. YouTube, if you're watching this on YouTube, smash that button that says subscribe. We're going to be doing a lot of things here, and Scott's going to be a very integral part of that. So you're going to see a lot of him. Both of us have faces for radio. We get it. We understand. But we're gonna do what we're gonna do. Okay, we're gonna have some fun. We'll have some ladies on, have some fellas on. We'll have a good time. So Scott, again, enjoy your Thursday, and thanks for being on.
Thanks. Everybody enjoy the weekend.
Bye bye.